Hello, my name's Leta Greene, and people always ask me how I got in my chosen career because, my dad was a truck driver, and I remember driving through towns and looking at all the houses and all the people and being like, well, there's the banker, there's the guy that works at the grocery store, and there's the attorney, and there's the trucker, right? And some jobs are a little bit more untraditional. People wonder, how'd you get into that? So instead of telling everybody my big long story, don't worry, I'll make it entertaining. I thought I'd share with you. So I actually have a degree in sign linguistics. So I thought I would be an interpreter for the deaf. So the irony is that my job, my career is not talking. If you know me very well, that's kind of weird. On the side, I did makeup. I loved makeup. When I was a little girl, the girls that were sneaking to school to put their makeup on, I wanted to go put their makeup on for them. I'd be like, ooh, let me help you with that. So I would put the makeup on, and I just found the whole concept of the colors fascinating. When it came time for me, I was a little bit more timid, and makeup became quickly frustrating for me because when I put it on me, I'd get rashes a lot. So I was bold, in my Carmex and my brown eyeshadow. By the time I was in my early 20s, I had red rashy skin, which happens as our skin matures. Mine was just maturing a lot quicker than other people's. So I did makeup. When my girlfriends were getting married, I did a lot of their weddings. People started asking, how much do you charge to do the makeup for my wedding? So my first paid makeup gig was 50 bucks. I got a lot of work because 50 bucks is really cheap. So I raised my prices a little bit, and I didn't even know there was such a thing as a makeup artist. It never really, just not in the world that I came from, was that something that I knew about. So was out in DC, I did some makeup out there, but mostly I was interpreting, going to school, dating, having my life. But makeup was something that, was not a profession I could go into. And when I moved to Oklahoma with my husband, who's in the military, it was just something that was there on the side, and then I loved it, and I loved doing it. I had a reception hall that I did some makeup for their weddings and things like that. In 2001, because I was always looking for good products for me, and people, of course, listened to my opinion, I heard about SeneGence. My sister actually found it at a trade show for educational supplies, kind of random, but she found this lipstick and she's like, oh, you will love this lipstick. You're always putting lipstick on. You always have lipstick. And I do. I have a fake tooth, three fake teeth from a bicycle accident, and so a scar through my lip. And because of my teeth, I want people to not necessarily notice my teeth, so I gave them something to look at. Lips, right? So I always wear lipstick. She's like, you'll love this. And so I thought, that's great. I want some of that. And she showed it to me. I called the lady and I said, bring lipstick. I want to buy some before I go on this cruise that I was going on for my other job. And bring me some information about the company, because what a great idea. Lipstick that stayed on all day. But I wasn't interested in anything else SeneGence had because it was too cheap. And the skincare I was using was about $150 a month, $80 for a lotion to have my skin not hurt. And I was working with a dermatologist, and the results I had were pretty good. So don't mess with it if it's not broken, because I'd had some broken skincare. So I wasn't interested that they had skincare. Like, that's great for them, but I am going to use quality. But lips, you can play around with your lips. So I started selling their lipstick in 2001. I did really well with it. Sold more. My husband decided he wanted to go to law school. So I thought, sure, I'll sell lipstick and put you through law school. Around the same time, I fell in love with SeneGence's skincare, which is really, I don't know if I'd still be just selling lipstick, because lipstick didn't change how I feel about myself, but skincare did. That I have amazing skin. I'm actually just about a week and a half over 40 at the making of this video, and I have amazing skin. Because most of my life I didn't. I had red rashy skin. But the reason I tried it was we're doing a booth in Chicago. So we lived in this little town, Lawton, Oklahoma, and you want to get out of Lawton. No offense to Lawton. I love the people there. So I would go to these trade shows in different locations, and there was this booth, and they said, you're going to have our products, and you have to use our products. And I was like, look, my skin will break out. It'll be all these problems. She's like, no, it won't. And I was like, well, I'm in Chicago. I paid for a hotel. I paid for a flight. I paid for my part of the booth. She's going to be that persnickety about it. Fine. I will try the skincare and the foundation. And the rest, as they say, is history. People actually said to me, you have good skin. And I was like, who are you talking to? But the skincare didn't burn, and it felt great. And the foundation had beautiful coverage without being heavy. And I was avid. So with the whole entire product line, I was able to have the financial security and the knowledge that I could put my husband through law school, which I did. My first week of school, my husband's first week of school, it's like I have an MRS degree of law, right? So ask me legal advice. So the first week of school, we found out that our sixth pregnancy, my son Nathaniel, would be born. And honestly, that's really when I got really serious about the methods that I was using in my business. And I think that's when I went from kissing my hand, showing how lipstick didn't come off, and giving my testimonial about the product, to becoming a business person, to looking at how I operated my business in a way that I wanted to work as efficiently and as effectively as possible to make as much money as possible, because I'd had miscarriages and I wanted to be home with my son. And my family is my why. Doing and being with my kids and being their mom. And I think there was a time I wanted to have a big career, but you know, that's when they had Career Barbie, I think. So I just wanted to have enough money to be home with my family. That was my ambition. At this point, my initial reason was to save up a bunch of money to adopt kids. So you can see that's a big issue with me. I don't think I planned on it being a career so much, but SeneGence had given me everything that I'd asked of it. So I put my husband through school. I had 2 more miscarriages and another child, and I was the sole support of our family, and I did it. And it wasn't easy. It was hard. I taught makeup at advanced makeup at a beauty school. The opportunities came to me, and SeneGence was the one that opened the doors, because as a makeup artist, you could only work on weekends or nights, but SeneGence let me work whenever I wanted to work. And I wanted to work when my kid was napping, and when my husband could watch him so I could teach makeup classes. So that's what I did, and did that for the 3 years of law school. I moved out to Utah, and my husband got a job, and we bought a house, and put up the white picket fence and call me dad. And I maintained my business, because why wouldn't I? I'd worked for that point, I think, about 8 years with SeneGence, so why wouldn't I maintain and take care of the customers that I'd worked so hard to get? And my husband was hit by a bus. And when we first moved here, I guess I kind of jumped the gun on that. But anyway, we first moved here, everything that I made, we put in a savings account. So when he got hit by the bus, we had a nice savings. Unfortunately, he lived. And the next few years we had, life kind of hit us hard. We had a few tragedies, which included my daughter dying. And the year that my daughter was coming to us, and my husband also had a heart attack, I didn't really care much about my business. I didn't care if I never sold a tube lipstick or saw a tube lipstick. I didn't really care if I had lipstick. And I didn't really care. But at the end of that year, when I was doing my taxes, I made $17,000 from pre-orders. I didn't do one newsletter. I didn't do one customer service call. I didn't do anything with my business but just fill my customer orders. In fact, I just found the other day that this client said, last time I ordered, I didn't get it when you were on bed rest. And I'm like, sorry. I didn't take care of business, and yet I made $17,000 running this business. I had a major mind shift, because prior to then, having grown up in Provo, Utah, in general, it's a huge multi-level direct selling area. And I had grown up in the shadow of this house on the hill that was this huge opulent home that a network marketing company's founder was in. And then I also saw the neighbor that lost their house, and I thought, well, I don't want to be a part of any industry that you can have huge rich and huge poor. I don't want to be a part of that. And so even though SeneGence was a direct selling form of multi-level marketing, I didn't want anything with that. People signed up, I was like, well, I guess I better train them. But I wasn't actively trying to get any recruits or team members or downline or whatever you want to call them. But after I had put my husband through law school, been able to be home with my kids, been able to deal with the tragedies that unfortunately all of us have our setbacks in life. Money didn't make those easier, but having a sense of security that I could fall back on, that I could get the money for my family that I needed, did make things easier. And SeneGence had given me a steady career. And I don't think I'd ever really even asked that of it. It just did. I just did my little work every day to make the money that I wanted to make, so I could be there for every coup and bump and tear that my kids had. And here at the end of it, I have this great career. And my son's running around. Hold still, sweet prince. And So I like to be with my children, but be quiet, children. So SeneGence gave me what I asked of it. And I thought, why wouldn't I give that to other women? Why wouldn't I give them that when life's bumps and bruises come, when the difficulties that face them are there, that they will have something to fall back on? And so I ask you, what is your job? What's wrong with having a job just over broke? You can also be just over broke in business. What's wrong with having something you do every day that helps make money for your family and helps you be with your family and help you, in the end, exceed your expectations? Because SeneGence has definitely exceeded mine. I have the trips in the car and all that cheesy stuff, but more importantly, I've met my goals. I have more goals to make, and I have an amazing career. So I invite you to learn more about SeneGence and let me mentor you. Thank you.